grant me permission to share this on with the YouTube and Facebook people, the critique on this, then it'll be absolutely great that they can see just how important anatomy is, because you've just been working through the anatomy album. You haven't shared anything with me, but I'm really impressed at what you've done here, and this is what I've been telling some of the other members to do, and it looks like you've really covered most of the bones in the body. So what you're saying here to me though, Aaron, is AMB, I was wondering if I could check my placements before I go in and draw the bones. I'm starting with these 3 poses for now. I'm guilty of putting these exercises off till now. So far I've made my way through all of the bones in the archive, that's the anatomy archive, except for all the hands and feet and skull videos, though I do plan on doing more studies of all the previous bones. I thought now would be a good time to start applying what I've learned so far, but yeah, I feel somewhat unsure about my placement, angle, scale of the bones, but I will say this exercise is a lot more fun than I first anticipated. I appreciate your input, good sir. You have gone through those anatomy videos and you are able to look at a pose and then you are able to imagine where the bones are. You are now at that level. What I do like to see is that your spinal cord, your spinal column is working. You're thinking about the placement and the twisting of that spinal column. You're really thinking about these things before drawing them in. And I'm thinking this is a really good effort, and you'll just get better and better the more you do. So sharing them with me and asking me to check my placement, I'll be doing the same thing you're doing, really. Just imagining from my point of view where I think they are. I'm going to pick just one of these because I think there's no point me doing them all. Okay, and I think this particular pose is the most challenging. Let's change the opacity. 25. Right, let's turn off the onion skin and let's draw. So again, Aaron, the first thing that I'm really going to test is I'm going to be looking at the spinal column. So this is the cervical vertebrae. The atlas is going to be right back here because his skull is here like this. The cervical vertebrae is going to be bent back further, and then the spinal column is going to be coming here, and then the lumbar, because his hips are coming towards us, so the lumbar is twisting back to us, but then the spines are kind of twisting like that. Okay, so that's the rotation of the spine. That's what I'm really going to be thinking of. So the most time that I spend when I do this kind of drawing is really working out the spine. Okay, so that's, once I've got that done, then I pretty much know where everything else is going to be. So this is where his pelvis is going to be. Okay, so we have, if his greater trochanter bone is here, then I'll probably have his acetabulum portion about there like that, coming around here like this, and then that's going to be coming through to the pubic bone around on each side there like that. So again, his greater trochanter would be there, bringing his sacrum and tailbone underneath there like that. The ischium we wouldn't really see much, just maybe like that. So this, like, okay, right. Again, I'm not gonna bother too much trying to figure all these 12 vertebrae out. You can, I think you should do it just because, like, you've been through it less than I have, and it's good to get your head around that And I know you're going to draw the bones in. You're just asking to me for placement. So this hair is where the spine is turning. So that's why it touches the top of his torso. We see it working there, the working spine. Now here's where the clavicles I want to really pay attention to. So if I have his rib cage, kind of his sternum, now his body is bending, so I'm going to use his neck. So his sternocleidomastoid muscle is coming here, so that would tell me that the clavicle is going to be coming somewhere like this, because if we look here we can see the sternocleidomastoid. I'll just draw that in, the sternocleidomastoid. Now if you don't know about muscles yet, then that's a little unfortunate cheat of mine, because I haven't talked to you about muscles yet. So that's how I've been able to find that out. But then that's how when you do this exercise again, when you learn muscles, it'll be a new game. Okay, I absolutely love this game. So what I'm going to draw here is I'm going to draw where the rib cage kind of comes up on itself out of the spine. Okay, then it comes around, and then it comes in through here, around there like that. And I'm going to put this contour line there just to help me define that. Okay, so then we'll have some floating ribs there. That's why maybe it is important for you to count the ribs, to draw in those floating ribs. But for now we're just looking at placement, so we'll leave it like that. Now this for me is the tricky part, the clavicle. Seeing the clavicle in action. So we've got this clavicle, the spine of the clavicle, coming around here like this. I just need to see that. So we can see that working. You can see this line coming up here. It's coming around here like that. Okay. Now I want to see what it's doing on the other side. Okay. Because we can see that working there as well. So if that's coming through and that's joining over to the clavicle on the other side, maybe we're having something like that. Let's see that working. See, I'm tempted to think that it's doing that, because we really want to see the clavicles in action. So this one will be coming more forward out, but this hand is in front of the other hand. So I'm tempted to think it's doing that. I don't want to keep them, I'm trying not to keep them even, okay? Yes, he's doing an even thing. If we look at what your guy's doing, they look too even. It's good that you can see that, but I do feel we need to feel them, that those clavicles aren't working. When I say working, they're working, yes, they're in the right place. You've kind of drawn them. We see their clavicles. But I want to see the bone working. Even I'm not happy with this. I want to see it working a bit more. So I'm trying to offset them a little bit. Clavicle, scapula, clavicle working. Okay, well the clavicle is kind of working because it's joining them. The humerus will come here like this. Okay, the ulna will come at the back like that, and the radius will come here like this, probably down more there. The carpals will be in action there. So now let's see what's happening here. So the humerus will probably be here like this, with the ulna coming at the back, and the radius there with the carpals in action. Now the greater trochanter bone will be protruding out with the femur bone. We can really see the patella in action here. And then over here we can see the tibial tuberosity coming there like that, with the head of the Fibula will be next to it, coming like that. All that muscle on the other side. Again, if that's where your patella head is, then the femur, the groove in the femur will be there like that, coming this way. The patella head hair, the tibial tuberosity there, coming here. Always remember that tibial tuberosity. It'll really help you, because then this side of the tibia will come down here like that, and this side of the fibula will come there like that. Okay, I love doing, like, even more than hands, I love doing it, so I'm just going to do it anyway. Okay, so this will be the talos bone. Okay, this will be the cuneiform 1, 2, 3, navicular, cuboid, coming here like this, with the phalanges, not the phalanges, the metacarpdorsals. These will be the phalanges. We'll just draw them in. See a bit of that calcaneus happening on the other side. I think the rest of that's all fat. So let's go and throw in that there. Talos bone. Cuboid, I see. No, the cuboid will be there because that'll be the metatarsal coming there. Navicular, cuneiforms, 1, 2, 3. These we'll just put in, rush in those there like that. Let's do one of these hands just for the sake of it. So we can't see all the hamate and this would be the trapezium, okay, and the scaphoid, then the trapezoid, okay, and the capitate, and the hamate coming on that side, and then we'll have the phalanges. No, I always can say that, the metacarpals. Then we got the phalanges there like that, which I'll just rush. Okay, so similarly here, we wouldn't really see all those lunate, scaphoid, tricutrium, pisiform. Won't really see all of that. So let's just put in the metacarpals and the phalanges. Just rush them. I'm just doing this because I love this. You said, like, it's so much fun. It is. Aaron, you've just given me so much fun. I'm doing more than what I should be. Logan Mitchell is online. You should be enjoying this, Logan. You've been trying to do a bit of this yourself. I will go over it once more, but I'm going to go and do the whole thing, so you see what it looks like with the whole thing. Okay, this skull is working a bit better. Okay, so I'll detail in the skull when I just refine it and make it a little clearer for everyone to see. So I'll just go and just give myself some map and then talk about it when I give it for everyone, when I refine it. Okay, so I think again you're not far off, which is what kind of illustrates my point. See, just by going through that anatomy archive, Aaron, like, I mean, this is it. It's just like you've had no feedback from me. I love this because you've gone through that archive without any feedback from me, and you're kind of like proving what a solid archive it is. If ever there was a candidate to show how Real Animator Training Library works alone without feedback, I would have to say you're it. You're the perfect, because you hardly get any feedback from me. And I'm just so impressed. So yeah, you roughed in the bones. You haven't drawn them in, but your placements. Let's have another little look. We'll have a look once I've drawn it in, so you can see. But your placements are you're good in my opinion. It's good. What I am going to do is I'm going to now shut this off, and now we're going to just cover this. So let's talk about the head. Okay, so this is the frontal. Okay, Anthony Doles would love this stream. Okay, this is the lacrimal, and inside we'll see the ethmoid. Okay, we'll see the ethmoid and the vomer. Okay, so that's coming through there like that. And now we've got the zygomatic bone, okay, which comes around here like this. And then we have the zygomatic arch, the temporal, with the mastoid process will come around the back here. And that's where the temporal and the sphenoid kind of connect. Zygomatic bone on that side, the maxilla coming through. Let's have some fun here. Incisors, canines, premolars, and molars. Okay, let's do the ones underneath. Just rush them a little bit. Okay, so that's where the cleft comes. And the temporal mandibular joint. Okay, that would probably come more like that. The angle of the mandible would be more like that. I'm a little bit off with that, but who cares? Yes, I'm happy. So the parietal portion and the other parietal portion. Okay, so that's where we kind of got that going on. So we've got all the sutures in the skull. Now, the spinal, we've got the atlas bone and the cervical, first cervical vertebrae. Always like to do those because that's where the bending is really happening. There's also a bending going on here. So we've got C2, C3, C4, C5, C6, and C7. Okay, which is all kind of clumping together like this. Like this. Then we've got this spinal thing. See how I'm being very, even though it's this vector, I'm being very choice with my line here, because we want to draw that rib cage in on top. We don't want to get lost. So then this rib cage is going to be coming probably up. Let's have a look at that. Yeah, probably up like this. Let's think about the shape of that. The sternum is going to be coming underneath there like this, and they're going to be coming up and around, up and around, up and around. We want to get that effect, so it's same thing, up and around, up and around, up and around, like that. I'm not going to count them, okay? There should be 12. I don't want to, I don't want to 2, 3. I'm not counting. Okay, I'm not gonna count. I'm just gonna do that. Okay, I'm not gonna like become obsessive. Okay, it is a good idea that you do, but okay. So they're rotating the other way. These are the lumbar vertebrae. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 will be coming into towards the sacrum. Okay, I will count those. Now, so the rib cage will be kind of coming along here, like this kind of shape, okay, into the spinal column around here. This is where the clavicles and the scapula will be working. This always throws me. Like, again, I will need to, this angle always makes me think about the connection of the clavicle to the spine, and like this is why I think this is such a challenging thing. This is why I said you came to me to check your bone placements, but you see, I would then, this is going from my memory, my imagination, I would go online to recheck this, because it's a difficult angle. Like there's no way around it. Okay. So the scapula, the spine of the scapula is like working, like we've got this shape here like this, and I want it working this way, and I want this one coming around off there like that. Let's just curl it. I want there to be a little bit of, you know, because although his hands are doing the same thing, the way he looks in this drawing, it's like the scapulas are kind of doing something a little bit different. That's just my take on it. Okay? So again, I could be off. Okay, so that's coming around here like that. Then we have the humeral head. Going in here like this. There. Right. So I'm just going to draw heavy on those. Like that. Very, very tricky one. These will be the ribs coming around, which I will indicate like that. We have some maybe coming. See, this will be angling outwards and inside like that. You see. But then I want to make the spine clear. We don't want it getting messy, so we fudge it. Ulna, radius, ulna. This is more or less exactly what I had. These are the more easier portions. Here we have the sacrum with the coccyx. So this is 1, 2, 3, and then could be 4 or 5 there as well. With this now, the iliac crest, which will be coming around here towards where that pubic bone, which we wouldn't really see much of around here. That's the acetabulum, and the ischium will be coming underneath, probably like that, really. So a little bit off there, a little bit off. Right, so the greater trochanter will come through on this side. It's been a while since I've done this, so thank you, Aaron, for making me use my brain. You see, no matter how experienced you are, this is something that is always going to test you and challenge you. Tibial tuberosity, that is the... I can never remember which is the head and the tail. If that's the head of the... yeah, the stylus process. If that's the head and that's the tail, then this will be the head. The thinner side there is the head. Okay, never remember that. I just say that's the bottom and that's the top. Okay, so sue me. Okay, this comes here through here like that. You see the archways that are always prepared for the feet, like that. Talos bone, navicular, cuneiform 1, 2, 3, cuboid bone. Okay, calcaneus is on the other side. Then we have the dorsals, and I'm just going to do squiggly lines to do the phalanges, as it's just superfluous. Hang on, what's going on here though? I'm not looking at that. Okay, so that's that. So this is the inner side. Calcaneus will be on the other side. Okay, so then this will be the navicular side with the cuneiforms coming down. The cuboid will be here like that. Yeah, that's what it is. So let's just do that. Okay. And I'm not going to go and name all these. Okay. Because this just too fiddly. Too fiddly. Let's just go in there and do that. But if you're watching Logan B. Mitchell, you should be naming them. Okay? Okay, yeah, let's set an example here. Let's set an example. Okay? If you guys don't do this as much as me, so I'm talking about this as if it's myself. AMB, I was kicking and screaming when you said we had to learn the anatomy. I'm glad I listened to you and began the school journey through the anatomy. Exactly. Yeah. Tetro, you need to see the criticisms I've said. I can't read all these comments at the moment. But I'm just going to set an example here, because I'm kind of like telling this, oh, you shouldn't name it, you shouldn't alter it, because I know it all, I've done it all. But actually, yeah, you should, okay? So, this one on this side will be the scaphoid, okay, the lunate. Then we have the tricutrium, and underneath there's a pisiform, which we don't see. Then the middle, let's go on this side. This will be the trapezium. Then we have the trapezoid. Then we have the capitate. Then we have the hamate. Okay. Then over here it's quite hard to see, okay, but we have all the different metacarpals coming around here like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Then we have 1 phalanx, 2, and then 3. We have 1, 2, and then 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And the thumb just has 1 and 2 like that. Okay, so I kind of rushed it on the other hand, but there's the example that we've set. Okay, so that is a kind of rough example. Actually, it's not a rough example. We had another shot at it, but that's a good way that you can go about. Actually, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, the spine. That's why that was always kind of annoying me, that. So I wanted to get that clavicle working. See, my theory is it should be shooting off the spine like that, but his shoulder is down here. So it's, even if the bone was here and his deltoids were big, his shoulder can't be down there. So my reasoning is I could be off with this clavicle, but not by much. Okay? It's a tricky one, this clavicle. So don't beat yourself up on that, Aaron. That's looking a lot more like what I think it should. Actually, that rib cage. Yeah, so it's a tricky one. But you see, more than anything, for animators, and I'm glad you're online, Logan, because for animators, bones are even more important than muscles. And I'll tell you why. Because if you're looking to just draw well, then muscles are extremely important, because you're doing one illustration and you're showing off those muscles all the time. But whether you're working in CG or whether you're working in 2D puppet rig or whether you're working in 2D traditional, you will always need to understand body mechanics. And body mechanics will always be based on what your bones are doing. Because I'll tell you what, when we start to simplify, like for example, so say let's just draw like the bones here like this. Bones. determine the nature of the subject. It's life, Jim, but not as we know it. Okay, so let's just say that that's our bones, okay? So we have this and we have this, and we've got this really loose construction of our animation. You see, when we start moving on, yes, the more we know about muscles, I'm not saying don't learn muscles, but a lot of people who join, they get, like, they keep saying, when you're doing muscles, because they've got the hard on, okay, for the drawing the pretty stuff, okay? That is not going to help them do their animation, because at the moment they struggle to even animate a decent stick figure doing a walk cycle. So it doesn't matter whether you're doing a stick figure, all right? So let's take our stick man, okay, with his shape like this, okay, and put it just on top of the bones, okay? So we just put our stick figure on top of the bones. There's no real muscle going on here, but you see, now we're gonna get some really nice animation out of a stick man because we understand bones, okay? And then, okay, say if we didn't understand fully muscle anatomy, right? Say we knew just about circles and chests. Let's take a Don Bluth kind of Dirk the Daring style character, okay? So let's do this and let's do this with construction on top of the bones. Okay, so let's do something like that with a little bit of understanding of a calf muscle. Okay, coming like this. Okay, so we've got something like a little bit of understanding of deltoid, but not much. So we've got something like this. Okay. And then, so you see, now we start putting our character's costume on there. Okay, with a little bit of sleeves and stuff. We're good to go. We're good to animate that with the knowledge of bones. So if you want to be, you could actually be a bloody good animator just by only knowing bones. There are plenty of people in the industry who ain't that hot at drawing muscles. Why do you think when Glen Keane did Tarzan, he pushed and shoved his guys to go and learn muscles? Because the character was all about going in there and really seeing how those deltoids and those pectorials match. And that will help you become an even better animator, okay, if you start understanding all this stuff, okay, understanding serratus, understanding all this stuff. That'll make you an even like external oblique, because then you'll be able to play with shapes, okay? You'll be able to throw in shapes in your drawing and really get really nice, cool drawings out of it, okay? So there's no, of course, muscles are really going to help you if you want to get to the uber super level, but let's face it, there are lots of people getting by with just bone knowledge and a little bit of construction shape. Okay, so yeah, so then you have the bone against the muscle. It looks really nice. I'm just showboating because I love what I do so much. So let's stop that. But anyway, so if ever there was a case for learn the bones, people, this is it. Like, bones are practically where all your muscle rests on, all your skin rests on. Everything is resting on these bones where the joints are, how they articulate and move. So anyway, thanks a lot, Aaron, for posting this. So let's once again look, though. I don't think I did to see how you were. So yeah, you're not far off, you see? You did the work. Logan, anybody else, Anthony, Logan, all you other guys who are dabbling with the Anatomy Archive, Akal, he's gone through the archive quietly without giving me any feedback. And now he's come here and he says, AMB, can you check these bones? And I said to him, like, my guess is as good as yours. You and I both know the bones now. So, like, He's been through, he's now got my knowledge of those bones. So, you know, yeah, has he got my experience? No. But the more and more he does, the more and more he will. And whether he draws this or whether he draws this, it really doesn't matter. He's showing and exhibiting knowledge now. And he's gonna be so much more better for it. So awesome post, Aaron. Just keep going. Always share your work with me. But anatomy is like doing push-ups. It's like, can you check the form of my push-ups? And I'm like, well, straighten your back, don't dip your head or whatever. But ultimately, you just have to keep doing till you get stronger, and then you iron all those things out yourself anyway, because you just keep getting better and better and better. So fantastic post, Aaron. Great work. Thanks so much for sharing that. And that's my feedback. Just keep going. Keep pushing forward. Ahead with it.